Have you ever woken up and felt like something in your life was borrowed? Not broken, just unfamiliar. As if the person you've been trying so hard to be isn't entirely you. You go through the motions, you make the choices, you say all the right things. But somewhere deep down, a quiet question lingers. Whose life am I actually living? Think about it. How many of your decisions were born from your deepest truth? And how many were shaped by expectation, by fear, or by the simple need to belong? How much of the person you call yourself is truly authentic? And how much is a role you just learned to play really, really well? Most people never stop to ask this question. And that, right there, is precisely why most people never truly wake up to their own lives. The famous psychologist Carl Jung believed that life doesn't truly begin until we find ourselves. And he didn't mean the version of us shaped by getting approval from others. Not the identity handed to us by our family, our culture, or just our need to survive. He meant the self buried underneath all of it. But here's the interesting part. Finding yourself isn't about adding something new. It's about uncovering what was silenced long ago. From the moment we're born, we're being shaped. We're rewarded for fitting in and corrected for standing out. We're taught which emotions are acceptable and which ones we need to hide away. So what do? We adapt. We learn to put on a smile when we're actually confused. We learn to stay quiet when we're hurt. We learn to act strong even when we're completely exhausted. And slowly, almost without us noticing, we begin to wear a mask. Jung had a name for this mask, the persona. It's the face we show the world so we can get by, succeed, and feel accepted. It's a necessary tool for navigating society. But there's a subtle danger. The longer we wear the mask, the more we start to forget it isn't our real face. And what happens to everything that doesn't fit that perfect image? Our anger, our sensitivity, our secret longings, our creativity, our vulnerability, all of it gets pushed down into the dark. This is what Jung called the shadow. Now, the shadow isn't evil. It's not some dark monster waiting to destroy you. It is simply everything you were taught to hide in order to be loved. And the thing about the shadow is, it never disappears. It just finds other ways to get your attention. It whispers through your anxiety. It leaks out in moments of self-sabotage. It shows up in the people who trigger you the most. Have you ever had an intense, almost irrational reaction to someone and couldn't explain why? Jung believed that what disturbs us so much in others is often a part of our own unacknowledged shadow. That person is just holding up a mirror to something we've hidden within ourselves. The shadow doesn't want to destroy you. It wants to be seen. Because hidden inside it are not only your wounds, but also your power, your most authentic self, your depth, your untapped strength. True growth doesn't come from becoming a better version of yourself. It comes from becoming a whole version of yourself. This is the point where most people turn back. Because facing yourself is uncomfortable. It means sitting in silence when you'd rather be distracted. It requires questioning beliefs you've held your entire life. It means feeling emotions you've spent years avoiding. So, we fill our lives with noise, busyness, and the constant search for validation from others. Anything to avoid meeting ourselves in the quiet. But our unconscious mind is patient. It speaks to us through patterns, through the same mistakes we make over and over again, through that lingering feeling that something inside you is still waiting to be heard. Jung called this journey toward wholeness, individuation. It's the process of integrating every part of yourself, not just the socially acceptable ones. And this journey is deeply symbolic. Think of it this way. Within you lives a hero. This is the part of you that longs for meaning, for growth, for transformation. But every hero has to face a monster. And that monster isn't out there in the world. It's your own shadow. It's the fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of being truly seen for who you are. We spend so much energy trying to silence these fears, but Jung taught something radical. What you resist, persists. It doesn't weaken, it controls you. It's only what you face that you can transform. When you turn toward your fear instead of running from it, you begin to reclaim your own power. And there are even deeper forces at work. Jung believed we are all shaped by ancient psychological patterns he called archetypes. These are universal symbols shared by all of humanity. The warrior, the healer, the inner child, the seeker. They live in our dreams, our stories, and our deepest instincts. Even the balance within us, our logic and our intuition, our strength and our softness, reflects these deeper energies, which Jung called the anima and animus. When we reject parts of ourselves, we create an imbalance. When we learn to integrate them, a sense of inner peace settles in. And then comes the final realization, the one that changes everything. The self you think you are, it isn't a fixed, solid thing. It's just a momentary shape, formed by your memories, your habits, and your beliefs. Beneath all of that lies something vast and profound. Jung called this the self with a capital S, the totality of who you are, beyond your ego, beyond your labels, beyond your fear. You are not just your past. You are not just your name, or your job, or the stories you tell about yourself. You are a living process, an unfolding. Your ego is a necessary part of you, but it loves certainty. It builds borders and says, "This is me, and that is not." But real growth begins the moment you loosen that grip. It starts when you stop asking, "Who should I be?" and you start asking, "What is trying to emerge through me?" Finding yourself is not a destination you arrive at. It's a process of remembering. You were never truly lost to begin with. The voice you've been searching for, the truth you've been chasing, the self you long to become, it has been within you the entire time, waiting, not to be created, but to be acknowledged. So, the question remains, will you continue living as a fragment of who you could be, safe, familiar, but ultimately unfinished? Or will you find the courage to step into the unknown and allow yourself to become whole? Because as Jung said, life does not truly begin until you find yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more journeys into the mind. See you next time.